The Modern Warfare 2 campaign in my eyes was the sequel I hoped for, coming off the back of an absolutely fantastic game, Modern Warfare 2019. The huge emphasis on stealthy mechanics, sweeping houses, and slowing the gameplay right down to a snail's pace to immerse the player in their current objective. I think it resonated so well with me just because I love stealthy and tactical feeling games, and the ability to do that in a Call of Duty is just a win-win for me. However, over the last few days of reading your guys' comments on the campaign, your initial thoughts, and how you feel as though it compares to Modern Warfare 2019, you've opened my eyes and you've dragged me out of that honeymoon phase of the game, where I can really take a step back and critique the campaign constructively and discuss what I didn't really like. Now, leave your comments down below as to what you thought of the Modern Warfare 2 campaign. Did it live up to the hype that it generated? And was it the sequel that we all thought it would be? I'd really appreciate it though, guys, if you could leave a like on today's video, and why not consider subscribing to the channel as well for plenty more Modern Warfare 2 videos on the way. But without further ado, let's dive into the discussion. For me, this campaign takes a huge step up from that of Modern Warfare 2019 from a gameplay perspective. Modern Warfare 2's gameplay from the first mission to the very last was an absolute joy throughout. The atmosphere, the voice acting, the sound design, and the way that the developers slow down gameplay purposely to a snail's pace when you're making your way through tight corridors or sweeping houses. It's just chef's kiss. I love stealthy, which is why I always refer to the Clean House mission in Modern Warfare 2019 as one of my favourites that I've ever played in Call of Duty, and I think Infinity Ward knew how much that mission was well received and just tried to do that on a bigger scale in Modern Warfare 2. This is why there are so many more stealthy elements to Modern Warfare 2 and ways that you can take things slower through corridors, sweep houses and things like that. Not necessarily entire missions dedicated to this mechanic, but each mission pretty much, other than the odd few, have an element of stealth within them. But the really cool things about these as well is that these are not just generic linear stealth sections that you find in other games. It gives you the option during these sections to do things how you want to do them. Take out whichever enemy that you want to, or go whichever path you want to. It could be through a secret door on the right, it could be from the building on the left. You can crawl under trucks and do it that way. It is entirely up to you, and you are the leader of what you want to do, and I personally really like that in the game. However, there's one thing in Modern Warfare 2 that just is not as good as what was in Modern Warfare 2019, and for me, that is what lets it down a little bit here, and that is the story. Now, I want to make it clear to you guys, I do not hate the story in any shape or form. I actually really like the direction that it went. How the characters were written, I just thought that they were really, really good. Valeria, especially Alejandro, man's just a fucking beast. I mean, look at this smile in this section, it's just so cool. But with Modern Warfare 2, it delivers very little shock value to the player at all, or feeling that you really care for the outcome of what's happening here, if that makes sense. The first cutscene in Modern Warfare 2019 makes you already hate this faction, the Al-Qatala. I mean, there's literally a mum and a child standing there as this person steps out of a van strapped and smothered in bombs. Like, I don't need to care about who they are, they're just already a piece of shit in my eyes. However, in Modern Warfare 2, we blow up an arms deal killing General Gabrani, the leader of the Al-Qatala at the time, but he's the leader of a faction I hate, I get that. But why do I hate General Gabrani? I've never heard of him. At least in Modern Warfare 2019, we get a cutscene before anything happens of the Wolf and the Butcher, instructing these people to go and rain hell on Piccadilly Square and essentially kill loads of civilians. That makes me hate them, and it makes me want to try and find them. And you care about the likes of Farah and her people, because General Barkov has rained hell on Urzikstan for countless years before that, killing so many innocents in the process for pretty much no reason at all. Modern Warfare 2019 had a really real reason for you to care about the plot, what was going on and what you wanted to help Farah kill Barkov and relieve her of that personal vendetta. Not to mention either, Hadir. My guy literally plays the entirety of Urzikstan and the US military by secretly stealing this Russian gas and acting like nothing happened. All of this was to, again, end his personal vendetta against General Barkov, not thinking about the implications though of what working with the Al-Qatala would be, with his sister resenting them to the high heavens. Which brings me on to one of my first questions. Where the hell's Hadir? Al-Assad, where's he? Neither mentioned throughout this campaign, and now General Gabrani is the leader. I thought Al-Assad was the leader. I mean, what we do need to remember here is that there's another full campaign DLC coming next year for Modern Warfare 2, so potentially a lot of aspects have been cut and left for that campaign. So I'm still holding out, I'm still waiting for that, but I would have liked to have had a bit more information around that. Modern Warfare 2019 delivered player shock value. It made you gasp and think, fucking hell, that was a pretty crazy thing to do in a video game. Modern Warfare 2 doesn't really do that at any stage. The only time I can think of when it does do something like that, but it doesn't really give you that same shock value, is when the Al-Qatala are throwing mines on the highway, killing all of those innocent civilians driving by on that vehicle mission later in the campaign. That's literally it. Even Hassan throughout the campaign, he wants revenge for us killing General Ghabrani, and he wants to invade the US because of that. But why? Why does he want to do that? Surely it'd be useful to understand more about General Ghabrani, how he became the leader of Al-Qatala, because does anyone know? Like, I could be missing something completely here, but it would be good to have a brief story or bit of lore around General Ghabrani, how he became the leader, why Al-Assad's not there, and just generally what happened. General Ghabrani is a massive part of this story, but we don't know enough about him to be able to relate to why he's so important and why Hassan wants to invade the US so badly. It was a massive point that I feel like was missed in this campaign, and if it was mentioned at the start in a very brief cutscene or a bit of dialogue as to why, I think it would have been so much better received, and you can connect the dots better. If Modern Warfare 2 had a story like Modern Warfare 2019, but with Modern Warfare 2 gameplay and mission design, I think this would have been a masterpiece. It would have been that good. However, the story for me, whilst still really enjoying it as it is, and I just love the way the characters are written, I like the way that the gameplay feels, and I did like the way the story went, to be fair. I think it's teed up Makarov's return very well, and I think Shepard's betrayal was cool, and ultimately we probably all seen that coming, but it's just not strong enough for a 10 out of 10 for me. So for me, that's all I thought that let Modern Warfare 2 down slightly. Just that plot and overall storyline. I thought that the original Modern Warfare 2 did it better, to be honest, and I would have liked them to include the Russians a little bit more in this story. I know they're probably waiting until the next DLC or until Modern Warfare 3 to be able to include them more, but I think they were missed massively in this. They were such a big part of the previous game alongside the Al-Qatala. But I feel like them taking a step back and just having the Al-Qatala and the cartel at the forefront, I don't know. I think that having Russia there as well would have been cool, because ultimately, they stole the missiles. They are a huge part of the story, but weren't really mentioned at all. So that's one thing I would have liked as well. However, I would love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions down below. Overall, I still rank Modern Warfare 2's campaign as my favourite ever in Call of Duty. This is my most loved campaign. I finished it twice, and to be honest, I could go and finish it a third time. I really enjoyed how it felt, and the story for me, yes, it could have been improved, but the gameplay was so good that I can live with missing out on a couple of those things, especially because we're going to have another DLC coming next year. If there was no more DLC and that was it to Modern Warfare 3, I'd probably be a bit pissy about it. But with there being a DLC next year, I can kind of live with it, and I'm sure a lot of the questions will be answered next year, and maybe they'll take more risks, which is what this game didn't have at all. It didn't take risks like the first game did. And that's where I think it was let down. Anyway guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I'd be very interested to read everyone's comments on this video. Leave a like if you did agree with any of the points that I made, and if you did enjoy the video, and why not subscribe to the channel as well. We have a lot of Modern Warfare 2 content coming on the channel in the next week, and obviously past that as well, and I'm very excited for that. But without further ado everyone, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you all in the next one.